You know what I'm saying? The ones who blog, I'm not watching their fucking ass, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know who else. I think that's pretty much it. Uh,
Yeah.
can you hold that thought? I want to hear what you got to say about the ones that annoy you, and then we'll move on to Disney,
That,
Destiny. But I got to poop real quick. All right, they love you.
all right, me too. What?
Okay, I'm back, son. What were you about to say?
Oh, we were gonna talk about. I don't really have any other Disney YouTubers that annoy me. But we were gonna talk about Destiny YouTubers.
Yeah. Okay, you want to go first?
Yeah, I go first. Uh, I think this is probably the most obvious one. Probably one of the ones that you or I were gonna say. At least for me, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think we should get one of the big ones out of the way,
Yeah.
and that, and that's Cactus.
Yeah, I knew it. Before you even said that, I knew that's what you were going to say. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
I feel like Cactus is the most. Let me try to save my own ass. Uh, YouTuber out of all of them, right? This dude, I feel like this dude. When I say anything bad about Destiny, I feel like he the most the worst thing he could probably say is uh like man, I don't even know. I don't even know what the worst thing he can say. Cause I never really heard him criticize Destiny or even say anything all that bad about Destiny. Where it's very clear what his opinion is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of like he goes for like a non-opinion kind of thing, and then it's just like, yeah, that's it. He's like such a huge Destiny apologist. It's even when it's like Destiny really needs the criticism
Yeah.
because it's like it's clear that Bungie's doing their shenanigans again, and as him as a big community member, instead of being on the side of the players who are spending money and playing this shit, he's like no, let me try to like he's always on Bungie's side. It kind of feels like, you know what I mean. It kind of feels like he's always on Bungie's side, and I do think he does a good job at putting news out there. However, I think it's way too long-winded than it actually needs to be. Like him explaining something takes too long for him to get to the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like he's one of those YouTuber, and this is not even just a Destiny YouTuber thing. This is just like a YouTuber thing in general, where there's some YouTubers who will like take 5 billion years to finally get to what the frick the video's about. Right?
Yeah.
He'll be like it's. So, like he'll be like, it started the intro. He always says some annoying shit like it's your boy Rick
Yeah.
Kagan,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
shit like that. It's so goddamn annoying. And then and then he starts talking and talking, and then he's like, so let's get into it. But first, our
Yeah.
sponsor,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Raid
Yeah.
Shadow Legends. And
Yeah.
then he's
Yeah.
talking and talking and talking, and then next thing you know, he's talking about some shit that we don't even care about, like how his dog did a backflip or whatever.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap? And then like 30 minutes later, we finally get to the information.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and it's like when he's actually explaining it, like, yeah, okay, I don't think that part is bad. It's just the him actually getting to the point is a terrible part, really,
Yeah.
right? And then him also being just like an insane Destiny apologist. Like, he will not talk shit about this game. He will not criticize this game at all, right? Even though it is clear that he has some thoughts and opinions about it,
Yeah.
he will not show his opinion. He tries to be as neutral as possible,
Yeah.
right? You know, but that's the first one I'm going with.
Okay. Yeah. My
You feel
turn.
the same way?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Let's get him out of the way because we know we're gonna mention him. And I exactly. I don't really have much to add because you captured pretty much everything. I would just kind of echo with your sentiments of that that there's just this fakeness about uh, how how long his videos are, just so it can meet some sort of threshold for the sponsors or whatever it is. Like I know I always heard about that 10-minute thing, and I agree with you. It's like because there's nowhere where his videos need to be that fucking long, and then you can tell because he'll say stuff about what's the general what's going to be about, and then he says, "But first, let's get the word from the sponsor. Blah, blah, this is sponsored by blah blah. And uh, same thing about that Destiny apologist crap. He will not say too many things negative. I have heard him say if it is negative, it's very minor thing, like 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 they sunset the guns, but it'd be nice if they brought them back. But I understand why they sunsetted them because they blah 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 blah. So he doesn't really. He kind of subtly criticizes them only because it benefits him if they don't sunset him, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he ain't gonna be too strong. He's like, hey, Budgie, it'd be nice if you don't sunset these. But I understand why you did it, so no big problem at all. No, at all. You know, and I get annoyed with that dude about that, and I also get annoyed with him enjoying his fame too much. He thinks that people have commented that they like my intro. Oh, hey, Rick snapping at your cockers, or Rick having a high five cockers, or come on, dude, just say the fuck. We know who the fuck you are. You don't need to come on with no clever sayings just because two people made comments about it. Ain't nobody like he makes it seem like he got all these huge fans or adoring fans who love that shit. Nobody, and we'll just get to say what you got to fucking say, man. Right? Also, I don't like his explanations because when you listen to his explanation on how to do something, it's so watered down and always something missing. It ain't nowhere near like that one that what's her name? The one I was talking about earlier, that the Grandmaster and that other guy, Ebontis. Man, they really break that shit down. I mean, when they talk about they tell you what weapons to use, why you use them, and the different strategies you can take, and different cheese spots, and all this shit. All Rick Hackett does is tell you the basics. Like, hey, this is the mechanics. This is the approach. 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is what you do. 1, 2, 3. But he don't really have no real strategy for why you do them and how to become more efficient and shit like that. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, so I can't stand that motherfucker, right? I can't stand him, but he is a nice guy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand him, but I ain't really annoyed with him. I still watch his videos. Well, I say I'm not annoyed with. I'm not annoyed with his. I don't think he's an asshole, right?
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
about to get into some. I just think are dicks and don't really care. And just they're doing. They're about the money. They like pearl things. You know, like who's next for you? Oh shit.
All right. I'm gonna say, uh, you mentioned something, uh, where you were saying you just think someone is, uh, oh, look, there's a, I know. I think I know one of them. One of the ones you're about to talk that you might be talking about. At least that fits that description. But I could be wrong. But but for now, I think I'm just gonna stick with one before we get into. But before I get into that whole meat and potatoes, I'm gonna say another one that also annoys the ever living shit out of me is now you might not know her, but but you've certainly heard me talk about her at least once, right? and is this woman, and it's not like I think she's a bad person or anything. Like, but once again, I don't think I agree with you. I don't think Rickagus is a bad guy. He's just annoying, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think this the woman I'm about to talk about. I can't remember her name, but if you come across her videos after I'm done talking about it, you'll exactly know who I'm talking about. But I can't remember her name. But I don't think she's a bad person. There's nothing that she did or said anything that makes her, I feel like, makes her a bad person. But I just think she's annoying. And the reason why I think she's annoying is because she feels like one of those non-opinion having ass YouTubers who just like will play both sides. so like trying to avoid getting into any type of confrontation at all. Like so if you say something, sometimes it's because when you pick a side, regardless of what happens, the other side is going to be mad at you. You know what I mean? So I understand why she does it. Same thing with Cactus. I understand why they do it, but it is annoying because you could tell that they have opinions. And even if it's something that I might disagree with, I'd much rather them just be who they are and say what their thoughts are, and we can disagree, than them beating around the bush and not actually saying it. But basically, the reason why she actually makes me mad, right? I can tell when she likes something or when she doesn't like something, because you can hear it in her voice and some of the words she chooses to use when she likes something or doesn't like something. But she won't just say that she likes it, or she won't just say that she dislikes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, for example, there was a little short video she made talking about this new PvP mode that Bungie was testing out, and I never really played it. I don't even know if they actually fully added it into the game or not, because it was still in kind of test mode. But she was playing it, and she was for a minute, for like the first minute, she was going on and on talking about how that whole game mode kind of caters to her play style, and she likes to use like very close range, rush down, shotgun kind of gameplay, right, into PvP. And I'm thinking, well, then somebody like her would absolutely love it then. And when she was first talking about it, that's all she was saying, is basically how much she liked it. And then she even was saying that she liked it, but then she went to go try to say that she didn't like it, and like the next half of the video, she basically trying to say like she didn't like it and didn't think that it would be a super great game mode for most people who played the game, even though she literally just talked about how great it was in the first minute. I'm like, wait, those are two very different contrasting opinions that you had in the same video. It wasn't like she made one video talking about, oh, this is great, and then made another video like, okay, you know what, after playing it for a while, this is actually shit. Like, no, she didn't do that. It was like in the same video she did that. I'm like, what the frick is your opinion? Do you like it or not? Like, is it good or is it bad? What the frick is your opinion? I can't tell. Like, this is such a terrible video, right? And she does that like almost like all the time, right? Where it's like like there's times where she really likes something. I'm like, just say that you like it. Just say that you like it, you know. And then, but she just won't say it. She won't just say, you know what, I really enjoy this. I don't care if other people hate it. I like this, okay? Right? She doesn't do that. She's like, nah, it's kind of good, but it's kind of bad. I'm like, what the frick does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like Bryson. When Bryson's trying not to have an opinion. Because Bryson does that all the time. Bryson's always trying to not have an opinion when he knows other people have an opinion.
Yeah.
Especially the opinions that don't match him. Like, you'd be like, Bryson's the type of person like, I think Dr. Pepper is really good. And somebody's like, I don't really like Dr. Pepper that much. Then Bryson will say, yeah, Dr. Pepper's not that great.
Yeah.
That she's like that. And that's why I feel like it would serve her and her channel so much more better if she actually just had her, like, just let her opinion through. It's not a bad opinion, you know. It's not like she's saying some shit like, I think Hitler's a good guy or something. You know what I mean? And that would be fucking insane. No, she's just saying some shit about a video game. Who cares, man? And if somebody's talking trash to you because you have an opinion about a video game, and then they're an asshole, right? Just let somebody, it's like, just come on, just tell me what you think, man. I don't know. Like, I don't want to watch your videos because you don't say anything. Like, you don't say anything, man. I don't know what you think. You know, it's just like, it's like, goddamn. That's why it's so annoying to watch. Like, every time I click on her one of her videos and I see that it's her, I just click off because I'm like, yeah, she's just about to be a no opinion having video. I'm not gonna know what the frick she just said. You know what I mean? But I think I would like her channel a lot better if she just came out and talked about how she was feeling, like how she felt about something. You know, like if she said, because even if she said some crap that I don't agree with, I would have respected that a lot more than try to play both sides. I just don't like it when people try to play both sides. You know, just either say that you like it or say that you don't. You know, because it's like at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what I think if somebody else likes it. I mean, that's their game, right? You know,
Yeah.
I didn't pay for their game. You know what I mean? It's like if she says, you know what, I like raids and I think they should put more raids in the game, and if I don't like raids, well, what the frick am I gonna do about it? She likes raids, okay? Like what the frick? You know what I mean? Even if I'm some asshole who's gonna come into her comment section complaining about her opinion, then I'm just an asshole, you know. But that's not gonna do anything. She likes what she likes. Just say that. Just say that. Then you know what I mean. All right. What about for you? Your turn.
Well, yeah, I can't comment on that because I don't know who the one you talked about, but I do know somebody similar like that, but become worse over the years. And that Datto, see, Datto started out like very good. You know, obviously he doesn't raid shit, and he's always kind of close to being world first. Or I think he's got maybe a couple of them, or one or two of them, and he's very famous. He's probably the most popular Destiny YouTuber, right? But I
Yeah.
remember when he came out and criticized Destiny about the microtransactions and stuff like a few years ago, and some of the stuff what Destiny was going to do, like he criticized like the taking like sunsetting and shit like that, and he predicted some stuff, some shenanigans that Destiny was going to actually be uh, doing this little bullshit episodes or whatever the fuck whatever the shit is, and not no real content. And then years later, when it's brought up to him, he's just become a hypocrite and not criticizing them. And basically, he's feels to me like he's in the back pocket, right? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
probably getting some all kinds of fucking money from them and shit like that just to shut the fuck up and don't criticize him. Because he literally got called out on contradictions. Even Astlecroft called him out on it, right? Even Astlecroft called him out on it, made a video about it. You know, it was so explosive where he showed what Dedo was saying back then, and then when they actually did it, now what Dedo was like, oh, it ain't no big deal, right? So it's a little bit like some stuff like even when he tried to kind of criticize Destiny now, it's more like him talking about other people's criticism. This is what they say. This is what they say, but
Yeah.
uh, but then he almost like softens it up by trying to say it's not that big a deal and all that kind of shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So in a way,
Yeah.
he talks a little bit like that woman, except it's not 100% from his perspective, but he's framing it where it ends up being the same conclusion, right? You're not
Yeah.
really sure what the fuck his opinion is because does he really believe the fact that he bringing it up about what other people say? Does he really believe that supports what they're saying? And then, publicly he has to make it seem like, oh no, he's supportable anything Destiny does. You know, I'm like, well, why? Because he's very effective when he talks about the criticism. The criticism is pretty powerful like what people are saying about Destiny and Bungie and stuff like that, it's pretty powerful. But then he concludes like basically arguing against it, against what those people are saying. But he's presenting it as if it's factual. But he has a different spin on it, like it's not that big of a deal, you know. Um, so I can't. So my next one, what I'm talking about is Datto. I can't stand that guy. I don't ever look at his channels anymore, except for if to get some information on how to two man something. Now he's a good player. I mean he's one of the top players for especially for PVE. Because I've seen him two man shit, and I know he can hold his own. So he's very good. But so he does have some credibility in that way that the Rick Cracker's done because Rick Cracker is just being carried. He just happened to get in on Destiny early on where he understood that people need information on how to do stuff. So he gave them a blueprint where other people weren't given blueprints. He kind of early on saying, well, hey, this is how you do this, right? Because it takes time to make those videos, right? And nobody else was doing it early on. So once he did it, he just kind of jumped in. Just like that British guy, KSI, he got lucky he got in video games, and even Corey Kitchen, right? Before I even knew what YouTube was, they got in and were like, hey, watch me play video games. And a bunch of people were watching me play video games, and they didn't even know who he was. It just got popular off that, right? You know? Yeah. And I wish I had thought of that because I would have had you in. I would have had you in there playing video, you know. And but I didn't even know anything. I didn't even know anything about it. When I first heard about YouTube, I said, wait a second, a bunch of people make unknown motherfuckers showing homemade videos. That's stupid, right?
Yeah. But
so anyway, the next one.
All right, yeah. I was gonna before I get on to my next one. Now I have to be a little bit more clear on who exactly I'm talking about. I think you'll know, but I do want to say that I definitely agree with you about Dado, which is kind of unfortunate because I kind of liked Dado's personality in the videos that he made, but just like you, I lost all respect for him once I realized that he became just like the Bungie management team. He basically he's one of them. It's like that's when I lost all respect for him. Just don't watch his shit no more. But that's unfortunate. But he chose. He chose. That's what he wanted to do. So for my next one is I don't know his name, but I think you definitely seen him, and you and I even talked about how annoying, how much of an asshole this guy is. And it's that guy, and I have to bring up a very specific point in time. I think for it, because that's at least how I remember it vividly anyway. And it was remember when there was people in the community talking about how Destiny doesn't really respect your time and how FOMO is bullshit and there's just the game is just too grindy over like just too tedious. People who have to go to school and who have a job, it's just really hard to enjoy the game and to like actually want to get in and play the game because of like the amount of grinding and time that it takes you to play the game. Because we always know any veteran player who's been playing for even like the first 3 years of Destiny knows that, and you basically are like grinding to try to stay relevant, basically, right? Because if you're under level, nobody wants to play with you. Nobody wants to invite you to their team. Nobody wants to, because you notice when you're max level how many invites you get. But if you're like not even max level, not even close, you don't get shit. Like nobody invites you to anything, right? Because remember, it just happened not too long ago when we got back into Destiny 1. Remember how many people were sending us invites to play a raid or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when you're max level, you get that, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like the fighting to stay relevant. It's like people are always, especially it's even worse in Destiny 2 now because like people are always inspecting your guns. They're inspecting your Bungie account. They're inspecting your level. They're inspect every goddamn thing about your character. I don't know why Bungie did this because it made the community even that much more worse, but they did, and that still and the community became more toxic about it. But anyway, people were complaining about that exact thing, that whole thing, right? About how grinding to be able to do all this crap in Destiny is just insane, right? Especially if you have a job and stuff like that. You just can't play the game 24/7. And this guy, he's not the only one. I can't say it just the YouTube channel because the YouTube channel had like 2 other people on it or whatever. So it wasn't just the other 2 people. They weren't even like that bad. It was just I'm just talking about this guy in particular. I don't know his name though, but he is that asshole was basically like, oh tough, well tough. He was basically like, well tough. You got to get on the game and play the game or whatever. You got to get on the game and play it because and grind it. It's like and he's basically he was like super insensitive towards it, talking about like people who can't get on and play it are like they should just quit the game and the game shouldn't cater to people who don't have time to play the game, and it should be catered to more people who could actually. And it's not really. It wasn't really about whether or not you are hardcore, but whether or not if you could actually afford to be hardcore, right? And he was basically like he's a hardcore player, and other people who aren't hardcore players basically just fuck off, right? And then it was funny in the same vein. Because the next day it was like the next day, Bungie drops Black Armory, which is shit by the way. But Bungie drops Black Armory, and then the next day he was complaining about how he doesn't have enough time to grind for it.
Is that guy they used to have he used to have a channel with a bunch of people on it talking about it. And
yes. That I know
who you got. I know the guy. He works for what's that review company that's trash?
IGN.
Yeah, he works for IGN now. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He belongs there. That asshole.
The dorky looking white boy, right? Yeah, yes. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, because he was talking about that like all these people got to work and all of a sudden they ain't got time to be fucking grinding to get ready for some fucking first day of raid. You know what you're talking about, right? That dude.
Yeah.
And then when it happened to him, it was like, well, why? Why come you ain't got time, motherfucker? You basically you're a hypocrite because you was talking shit about us, not having time and all that kind of stuff. And
it's talking about Dave Chappelle joke. It's a Dave Chappelle joke. It's not funny when it's happening to you.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, just real quick on a side note, I'm on this guy. I thought this guy was tough as fuck. But I don't know if you thought he was tough. But his name is Isami Kondo.
Kondo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kondo. He's the leader of the Shinsengumi.
Did you think he was tough? Because he's asking me to come back and join with him because he's pissed that I left.
Yeah, he's that buff ass guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have an option. You can say whatever you want, but you don't have an option to go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's why I was feeling bad because I feel like he has a lot of integrity. Even no matter what side of the side he's on, he has this integrity. It's like, how do you was with us, man? What the fuck? Now we fighting? What
Yeah.
He said we could have used you, man.
I like it. He's a very honorable character. He's a very strong warrior spirit, and it was very honorable.
So should I say, it says, that's not a bad idea. Let me think about it. That's not in the cards.
It doesn't really matter what you say. You can just say whatever you want. It doesn't really have the decision doesn't really affect the story or anything. But yeah, he's one of the harder bosses in the game.
He is.
My opinion, anyway. Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy to fight.
How many times do I fight him?
I think you fight him one last time after this,
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't face him again. He's so slow.
but it's even harder because you fight him with Jules. You know the French guy,
Uh, the French
Burnett.
guy?
Yeah, Burnett. Remember the French guy,
Uh,
the guy that fights with the sword and shield.
I kind of don't know that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Burnett ends up uh, joining sides with him, and you have to fight Kondo and him at the same time. And both of those guys are pretty solid boss fights, so you gotta fight both of them at the same goddamn time. I remember that boss fight was kind of tough, but that's the last time you fight Kondo.
Okay. Is he the one of the companions that would be good to play with you?
Kondo,
Yeah.
yeah, he's good because he's tough and he has a lot of moves that he can do that can mess people up. I think any of the companions that are from the Shinsengumi are pretty good. So like Kondo, Saito, Akita, Hijikata, uh, any of them are pretty good companions. Um, but like I said, I think the best one is Okita, and the other companion that to bring with you that's also pretty good is Katsu. But and then like I said, the only reason why I use those two is because Katsu has the flash bomb and Okita has three different stances, so you can kind of you know he has a lot of different moves and a lot of stuff.
Who's Akito?
Uh, Ka- Akita,
Oh, I haven't fought. I haven't come across
yeah,
that person yet.
you saw him, but you like I said, you haven't fought him yet.
Okay. And the other one has what?
The other one,
Yeah, you were talking about the one two you fight with, and who are they again? Okito was one, and who was the other one?
uh, Akita, Kondo, Saito, uh, another one, Hijikata. I think I'm saying that right. Remember, Hijikata and Kondo. Because the first time you fight Kondo, remember that's when you fight those two guys at the school.
Kondo? Is that the one I just fought?
Kondo, yeah, the big guy that just
Oh, I fought him
was asking
before.
you to come back. Yeah, he was one of the two guys you fought at the school.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, remember the one that Bryson had so much trouble with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I should have known that he was tough. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and then his teammate was Hijikata, and Hijikata is also pretty badass too. He's also hard as hell to fight. But yeah, those two, uh, Okita, um, Saito, are all Shinsengumi members, and they're all really hard as hell to
Yeah.
fight. And they also have a lot of moves and stuff that are also pretty good if you want to have them on your team. Um, another one, I'm trying to remember if there's any other Shinsengumi members you can have on your team. Um, let's see. There's the other one, uh, Nagakura, but I haven't really had him on my team where I was able to see if he was any good or not. But pretty much all the other ones are all the other Shinsengumi members are I know that are pretty good teammates to have if you want to have any of them on your team.
All right. Well, any other? Nothing.
Wait, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Uh. Oh. Um. think. That's one for me to think because like most of the ones I don't even look at. So I focus more on like the ones that I know gonna give me some good information. There's so many, but the big ones, like PvP. I don't really fuck with PvP that much, so I really don't have that much comments. I will say that um, I don't know. Lucky's good because I really don't have anything bad to say about him. Um,